Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to Global Happenings today. One of the greatest ill man does to himself is to lie to himself. Well, as we speak, some hours ago, Amechi had bemoaned the fate of the fact that he may not be able to get more money from China because they have declined borrowing Nigerian money. But of course, he has decided to look elsewhere, Europe maybe, to say he can get more money to fund his uncompleted project. That's a real project. As we speak, the presidency have decided to tell Nigerians the true picture of what they're expecting. Honestly, Nigerians not only need to pray, they need to get the right person to take the throne come 2023, or else we are in it for it rough, turbulent times. If nothing drastic takes place very quickly. Well, before we go straight into the news, we'd like you to subscribe to our channel if you have not done so already. Click on the red subscribe button. Beside it, you see a bell notification icon. Please go ahead, click on it to get notified as soon as we update our channel on YouTube. I'll try and be as fast as I can. According to the news, the federal government of Nigeria has admitted that all is not well with the nation's economic situation. An effort must be re-engineered to correct the situation. The level of debt. I don't know how we are going to do this. So let's continue with the news. Speaking differently at the same occasion, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo and Senate President Ahmed Lawan submitted that despite government effort and commitment, the economy is facing difficult challenges. Report has it that the two top officials spoke through their representatives at the 40th anniversary of the Chartered Institute of Taxation (CITN) in Abuja on Tuesday. In the words of Lawan, who was represented by his special advisor on economic matters, Professor Nasif Abdullahi Dama, the Nigerian's economy is not growing at the same rate as its population. He also observed that the amount being spent on debt servicing is on the increase, rising from $2.5 trillion in 2019 to $4.2 trillion in 2021. I quote her, "Last year it got to $11.9 trillion, and today we have almost half a trillion deficit of expenditure in terms of infrastructural delivery. Invariably, the economic problem in this country cannot happen without the active operation and collaboration of especially elitist groups like CITN and other professional bodies," he stated. He added that with a growing population, the tax net should be widened to ensure citizens pay their tax accordingly to the government, which will in turn be used to provide structures and amenities for the growing population. I quote him again. "Our economy is a growing one. We have over 200 million million citizens. We have a growth rate of over 3%, meaning every year 6 million citizens are added. On a daily basis, 26,000 babies are born. These demographic indicators are real challenges of providing quality social service welfare for its citizens," he stated. He added that, and I quote him, "In most democracies in the world today, people's participation in governance is predicated on the ability of those citizens to pay taxes as and when due. And that is where we saw a lot of fundamental questions raised on the way and manner the economies are being managed, because taxpayers are actually the contributors of the resources that are used in running such economies." On his part, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo pointed out that Nigeria's tax to GDP ratio is one of the lowest in the world, while its comparators are in the neighborhood of about 15% to 25%. He lamented the over-reliance of the country's economy on oil, which he said is causing economic imbalance. Represented by the Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Mrs. Zainab Shamsuna Ahmed, who in turn was represented by the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Malam Ahmed Aliyu, Osinbajo called for sustained effort in diversifying and building the economy. I quote him, "Nigeria's tax to GDP ratio is one of the lowest in the world. It is about 8%, while other comparators are in the neighborhood of about 15% to 25%. Even in Africa, we can surely do better. This is symptomatic of undue reliance on oil revenue as a result of fiscal imbalance in our nation's financial landscape the achievement of government's objective of widening the tax base for improved revenue collection through voluntary compliance in line with international best practice, while enhancement through cooperation with and support of the Institute being a major stakeholder in the tax system of our nation. We are happy with the result of sustained effort towards enhanced tax compliance despite the global economic challenges occasioned by COVID-19 pandemic and the disruption of economic activities by 2020 and 2020 protests. Nonetheless, tax administration has made significant improvement in collection. FIRS was able to exceed its collection target for year 2021 with 6.450 trillion naira from both oil and non-oil revenue, Osinbajo stated. Earlier during the event, the president of CITN, Adedayo, said that the institute will continue to contribute meaningfully to the nation's development and improve on its roles in line with current demands and realities. I quote him, "Therefore, we consider it worthwhile to reflect over the past years, celebrate what we have achieved, take cognizance of our shortcomings, and to continuously reposition the institute for the next level of greatness," he said. Now it is beginning to clear all of us, both those who don't want to live in the reality of the truth, that Nigeria is heavily indebted. Can you imagine how much we are paying as debt servicing every year? Every time we budget, there's an amount of money that goes just for debt servicing. And to worsen it, even the infrastructure that we borrowed these monies for are not fully completed. Now they're blaming Nigerians heavily on the fact that we are replenishing the population higher than it is being taken away. As in the number of children mortality, the number of children bettered, it's about 26,000 every day daily. It's quite a huge number, and they need basic amenities to sustain this, so that at least SMEs may grow. But the challenge now is even the infrastructures are not even forthcoming. Some hours ago, Amechi lamented how the fact that China are dragging their foot towards giving us loan, because they have seen how heavily indebted we are. It's one thing to borrow loans, another thing to be able to repay. How well they know how much they have given us thus far. So it's almost going to be unrealistic for us to service all the loan at the same time. We still need money to take care of recurrent expenditure. Now they're looking towards fiscal policies, taxation. Are you taxing the already frustrated Nigerians who have little or nothing to give? Over taxation will even make lifestyle and livelihood of Nigerians, especially those who don't even have much jobs to do, and the little salaries they have, you overtax it. It's not going to be funny at all. The whole thing will look like a serious suffering, punishment of some sort. I don't know how this will play out, but I do know that something needs to come, something needs to give, and something needs to be done, and very fast too. That's what we're going to wrap it up. Let's meet in that comment section, please.